Welcome back to another Ratface 44 Reviews. My name is James, and today we have G.I. Joe Classified Series, Ralph, Nunchuck, Baducci. So let's get this started! So before we get this started, big shout out to DJC Collectibles. Best place to get G.I. Joe Classified Series. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. It would really help the channel out. We do fun action figure things here. So before we open up the packaging, as you can see, there is a digital render of Nunchuck here. Looks like he's in kind of, looks like, I don't know, the city. In my head, it looks like Tokyo maybe. But to my understanding, he is not Japanese. Sounds very Italian to me here. So you have him holding his nunchucks. You got a nice piece of artwork here, which is pretty cool. I like it. At the top, you see all the accessories that Nunchuck comes with. And on the bottom here, you see G.I. Joe Classified Series, G.I. Joe Ralph Nunchuck Baducci. Let me know if I'm saying that correctly. And on the side, there is a larger depiction of Nunchuck, number 80 in the line. I really like this artwork. It is pretty cool. I'm a sucker for ninjas. And on the back of the packaging here, you see a digital render of Nunchuck, 6.1 inches tall, all the accessories, zoom in shots of his shoulder, and a profile picture. And on this side, there is a blue rendition of the same artwork, number 80, QR code. Alright, so let's go ahead and open up Nunchuck. I got my trusty scalpel here. There he is, out of the packaging. Here's a quick shot of Nunchuck in the cardboard imprisonment. And you have his foot locker. Has his name here, number 80, G.I. Joe logo. Light on the accessories. Let's dump them out. So before we look at Nunchuck, let's go ahead and look at the accessories from smallest to biggest, like we always do on this channel. So first off, we have this tiny little knife. It has a little bit of details on the bottom here, a little bit of sculpting details. Pretty plain, but that's pretty cool. And next we have this little addition for his mask. I'm guessing it plugs in the back of the figure. And next we have two nunchucks. Can't have Nunchuck without nunchucks. It's made of this soft plastic. There is a kind of sculpting detail on the handles, and there's a chain detail in the middle. And there's a little bit of kind of sharp details on the end of the handles here. Very cool. And next we have these two claws. There are 3 claws on there. I'm guessing they slip on his hands. Very cool. Look very menacing. And Nunchuck comes with these 2 swords. These are very reminiscent of the vintage. I was taking a look at the vintage sword. Speaking of the vintage, I will have a vintage comparison at the end of this video, so stay tuned. These are done in a silver type of paint application. There is a green kind of wrapping down at the bottom close to the handle. And on the blocker down here, there is a kind of in a star shape that has a kind of a detail wrapping on the handle. And this detail at the end, it's kind of sharp a bit, so maybe you can just hit like that. It's still pretty deadly looking weapon. It is serrated here on the silver blade. Really cool and unique. So that's it for all the accessories. Let's go ahead and take good old Nunchuck out of the cardboard imprisonment. And just like all the new G.I. Joe Classified series, there is artwork on the inside of this box, nice black and white. So here is Nunchuck all out of the packaging. Let's go ahead and take a look and see if there's any quality control issues like I always do. So this is a very nice tight figure. That is awesome. I very appreciate that. The joints are very, very tight, not loose at all. The ab crunch is nice and tight. That's very cool. Elbows are nice and tight, the double jointed elbows. Double jointed knees are definitely locked up. At least this right one is. But it's better to have tight joints than loose joints. This one I'm going to have to use a hair dryer. This one, same, I'm guessing it's the same thing. Yeah. Oh, it's a little bit looser. Definitely this bottom knee joint is locked up. So I don't see anything new with articulation here at all. It's the same thing. It has the same type of articulation as all the other Joes, minus a swivel at the bicep because of his armor on his shoulders. So that's new. Unless, nope, it is basically, it looks like there is a swivel at the bicep here, but it is kind of glued shut with the armor, like I was saying. So let's go ahead and look at the overall style of this figure. So he has this black mask and this headdress that kind of drapes over. It looks like it's floating in the wind. There is a port here to put the bandana accessory here on the back, which is really cool. It looks like it's definitely in a different color, as you can see here, kind of contrasts with the black. So he has this kind of black mouth cover over here. He has some some black eyebrows, and I'm not sure what color his eyes are. They look like they're just in kind of maybe brown, or it could be even blue. I'm not really 100% sure. So he is wearing black and green, as you can see, and the green is kind of this really cool kind of camouflage that goes all over his body. He has a kind of this web gear with a looks like that's a smoke grenade and a sheath, and it has some nice kind of leather looking texturing, a little bit of buckle molded detail here. He has a black undershirt. It's basically a gi that he's wearing. So on the shoulders here, it is made of this kind of rubbery plastic. He has a pocket there, and he has some nice detailed molding on the shoulder pads. As we move down his arm, kind of forearm guards here, that it isn't in a shinier plastic, and it's kind of rigid here. On his hands, he has these armor that's on his back of his hand. Very cool. He has trigger fingers, which don't make any sense because he doesn't come with any guns, which is kind of really disappointing and doesn't make any sense to me. He has all bladed weapons and a nunchucks and those claws. So yeah, get on that, Hasbro. Make some holding hands. If he doesn't have any guns, what's the point of having trigger fingers? So as we move down the figure, he has a floating belt with two holsters here for, I'm assuming it's for his bladed weapons. We'll go ahead and gear him up in just a moment. Camouflage pants, very cool detail on the pants. I love the camouflage. It's very jungle-like, and it has some of these pant details, wrinkles and whatnot. So as we move down, he does have a swivel at the boot, and he has these he has some wrappings around his shins looking details, and he has these kind of ninja shoes. Alright guys, let's go ahead and gear him up. I've already put his bandana accessory here on the back. So I'm kind of curious about the sheaths. Let's go ahead and just put his tiny little knife in the sheath here on his web gear. And the swords. So I think I'm just going to display him maybe with the swords, or even with just the claws. So the swords just kind of slip in to the holster here. Very cool. Double swords. There we have it. Check that out. That looks pretty freaking cool. And let's go ahead and put his claws on. So right off the bat, I could see on the back of the belt here, you could put the nunchucks on the back of his belt, so he can hold all his accessories. I'm assuming these just kind of slip on, I'm hoping. Like, I remember on the vintage one, I think for Storm Shadow version 2, I believe, that it would just clip on to his forearm here. So I'm assuming they just want to put it on over his hand. Let me know in the comment section down below if this is the right way of doing it. It looks correct to me. That looks really cool and menacing. That is awesome. I think I'm totally going to be displaying him with his claws I think this is a kind of a really cool, unique accessory for the classified line. So at least we can cover up those weird trigger fingers, sort of. So there we have it. You got Edward Scissorhands here. He's going to start folding laundry and changing the baby's diaper and whatnot. But this looks really, really cool. I like the claws. These look freaking deadly. Holy smokes. So on the nunchucks, we can go ahead and port them in the back here. There are 2 slots each. So there you have it, guys. I got the nunchucks in the belt. Floating belt does drive me a little bit crazy. We just need to push it down a bit, just like most of G.I. Joe Classifieds. The knife kind of sticks out a bit. It goes in the top, not the bottom, like Grunt. So there you have it, guys. I got Nunchuck all geared up. Final thoughts. I think this is a really cool action figure. He has plenty of accessories. He holds them all. The only thing that I find wrong with this figure is no bicep swivel. Unfortunately, there are shoulder pads here that kind of hinder that. So I couldn't do a review of Nunchuck without doing a comparison to Storm Shadow. I understand that most of this body is reused from Storm Shadow. As you can see, they use the same legs, feet, the whole lower portion, the torso, and most of the body. I think the differences are the arms. I'm not sure where those arms come from. So let me know down in the comment section down below what arms Nunchuck is using. So before I do the vintage comparison, big shout out to Battle Platform, a G.I. Joe website. Daniel Johnson, he got me the Nunchuck that we're going to be doing a comparison. It was one that I was missing in my vintage collection. All these links will be in the description below. Alright guys, let's go ahead and do a vintage comparison. I've been looking forward for this for a little whiles now. It's been in transit and finally got it in today. So let's take a look at the vintage Nunchuck. Thank you Battle Platform for hooking me up with this figure. It is beautiful. The action still works. He has like a karate chop action. He is part of Ninja Force. So as we do a comparison here, the colors are comparable. Of course, Ninja Force vintage Nunchuck is a lot brighter. Of course, this was made for kids, and this is all classified up with the colors all muted as they tout at Hasbro. It's basically an exact copy of the vintage minus the shoulder pads. They kind of, I guess, like they say, they classified it up. On the vintage, there is a holster here for a gun, so it doesn't look like there's a gun in there. I don't know what is it a holster for. Also, there is soft goods on the vintage. It would have been cool if they got some soft goods on here instead of being like a stagnant type of plastic that looks like it's flowing in the wind. This one can actually float in the wind. And on the vintage, there is a knife here I haven't seen before. This is the first time I'm looking at the vintage one. I've been wanting one for a long time, but there is a knife on his web gear type of thing. Little pockets. I don't know if there's a grenade or a smoke grenade on here. It's really hard to see. So there you go, guys. Nunchuck review in the bag. Hope you enjoyed my video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Yo, Joe, and Cobra!